Right now, rebel forces appear to be sweeping through large swaths of Syria as they close in on the capital. The leader of one of the main armed groups declaring, quote, "The fall of the regime is within sight." This was the scene in the northeastern outskirts of the capital. Celebrations in response to the rebels' claim they are at the, quote, gates of Damascus. Regime officials deny reports that Assad has fled, claiming instead government troops have established a strong cordon around the capital. However, other video shows large groups of army defectors. This is a contingent crossing at a border into neighboring Iraq. There are reports now that as many as 2,000 troops have fled there. CBC's senior international correspondent Margaret Evans brings us the latest developments.
It's actually getting hard to keep up because every time you look on social media or regular television channels that are coming through, we see pictures of these statues representative of the al-Assad regime being toppled. And what you're getting the sense of now is the capital, Damascus, and so President Bashar al-Assad's regime being encircled. We have heard the reports about opposition forces taking Daraa, which is a city in the south, the birthplace of the uprising against his regime back in 2011, in control there. The border there is closed. We have Syrian Kurdish forces in the east moving in, and they've taken Deir ez-Zor, which is another Syrian government city in the eastern desert. And of course, you have those troops, the opposition troops or soldiers coming down from the north. They've taken Aleppo, as we know, Hama, then Homs, as you mentioned, fighting still ongoing there. And now reports of rebels on the outskirts of Damascus. One of the reasons Homs is key is because it is on that road to Damascus, but it is also a city of a crossroads that leads to the coastal enclave, which is Bashar al-Assad's stronghold, the stronghold for his Alawite minority. It's also key because that's where Russia has a naval base and an air base. And of course, as we've seen, the expectations that Russia might come in very heavily in favor of Syrian government troops just hasn't happened. They have been taking part, but one of the things that people say is happening here is that the morale of the army has completely collapsed. We've heard reports confirmed by a mayor to Reuters news agency on the border between Syria and Iraq that about 2,000 Syrian army soldiers have now moved into Iraq. They have left Syria. We have the Russians telling their citizens to go. We have Iran, which is also pledged to support Bashar al-Assad, telling Iranian military based in Damascus to leave, looking very, very grim for the Syrian president. We actually haven't seen him, in the flesh, if you like, on social media or state news channels in days now. But the state news agency does say that he remains in the capital at this point.
That was CBC senior international correspondent Margaret Evans in Beirut. And one other note on this story, the United Nations says it is withdrawing all non-critical staff from Syria in light of the new developments.